TGIW, TGIT, TGIS, and TGIS. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Saturday. Thank God it's Sunday. Thank God it's Monday. Thank God it's Tuesday. Thank God it's Wednesday. Thank God it's Thursday. Thank God it's Friday. Send your people out of economic rubbish. From political yabbies. So what is political yabbies? Where is one of those that are unfolding in Liberia? The political campaign is on. It's heated. It's boiling. It's bubbling. We can hear but enjoying it. So it's a good morning to all of you wherever you are following us on Good Morning Liberia, voice of Liberia 104.1. We're transmitting from Monrovia, Capital Bypass. My name is Sam Andrews. My two girls are under the weather. However, the show must go on. Okay, thank you so very kindly that you joined us this morning. It's the weekend in Liberia, and the issues are unfolding. So we talk them as they unfold with the individuals behind them. 46 days to go, just so you know, to October 10th. We've got 46 days to go. 46 days for the candidates to crisscross the electorate, 46 days to sell their manifestos, 46 days to convince the electorate why they are the right people, 46 days to be convinced that they will be elected, 46 days to determine whether they are in the legislature, the executive mansion, 46 days to do all. 46 days. So we got the issues. It's the weekend. And along the way, we might spice it up with something social. You know, part of the radio, part of broadcast is therapeutic. And sometimes you got to get people out of their political self into their social self, out of their social self into their religious self, out of their religious self into their business self. That's what radio is. At a certain point in time, you go therapeutic. So let's start with what unfolded yesterday. The topical issue yesterday was the Flag Day celebration. It was colorful, well organized, I should say, well executed, and the beneficiaries couldn't have gone home more happy than they did. The organizers did extremely well. So the president and his entourage were there, and they chose a young Liberian, Tia Wento, as it has become the custom of this government, if not a tradition, as per my observation. They will give young people the opportunity to deliver their address, male, female. That's what I observe over the time, and it's good. It challenges the ones that are coming up to study more, to strive for excellence, to do everything hard and with perfection. Because when you see a fellow young person like yours being invited to such a historic occasion, you get motivated, you get challenged. Tia Wento, sorry, was given the opportunity, and he did extremely well. He did extremely well. He talked about unity, unification. He talked about security, talked about the 2017, sorry, 2020, 2023 election, and other issues that are so germane to this country.
and instead embrace a clear progressive agenda that unifies our nation. An agenda where young people must see themselves as an integral part, as a united part of Liberia, transcending tribal boundaries and working towards our common goal of peace and progress. Let us unite and provide a platform of dialogue that engage participation and nurture an environment that encourages the exchange of ideas, constructive criticism by innovation, and by valuing the contribution of young people. As we approach this election, let's do so with optimism and renewed commitment to peace. We certainly are bound together by our shared history, our aspiration, our dream. Let us demonstrate to the world that Liberia is a beacon of hope, a shining example of a nation united in diversity. And inform the government, the opposition party, and all of the stakeholders involved in our historical electoral process to prioritize the consideration and the inclusion of our young people. We are the heartbeat of our nation, representing 63% of our population below the age of 25. Our voices, our aspirations, and our dreams need to be recognized and included in this process. I firmly believe that the path to peace in this election lies in enabling young people to become catalysts for positive change. By empowering them with knowledge, skills, and opportunities, we can unleash their greatest potential and channel the energy toward building a more united, vibrant, and prosperous Liberia. Our plan then should be a path to embark on a journey with a firm resolve that will lift young people to harness their potential and create equitable opportunities for all. By embracing the voices, we can build a Liberia that we can be proud of. A Liberia that thrives in unity, nationalism, and optimism. However, we cannot pause on that path. Our celebration of nationalism should be looking back and remember the dark time of our history when our country was torn apart by civil wars that spanned over 14 years.
Wento Tia Wento delivering the Flag Day oration on yesterday. There were several awards given: Best Dress, Best Drill, Best Teacher, followed by Physical Catch. You know, in our culture, you can do all that you can say all that you can. At the close of the day, the people waiting to hear some kind of dialogue. So let's move to Alexander Duopo, one of the academics and one of those who was part of the vetting committee, and he talked about the procedure they put in place and how those people earn what they earn on yesterday.
Your Excellency, it is my honor to announce to you we have 6 winners. We have the Presidential National Best Teacher, Mr. Allen A. Thomas from Nimba County. When we got in 2018, before then, the sector was classified as a mess, but we went in the counties to see what actually happening. And through your own supervision and your guidance, you instructed us to have some intervention or having a lot of tutorial classes for our students. And you paid it through the government of Liberia, whether they are from private school, public school, faith-based, or community school. You were determined to change the narratives of the sector. Over the years, we built a good relationship with the National Teacher Association of Liberia, the National Principal Association of Liberia, and the National Parent Teacher Association of Liberia. We involve the parents through your guardians to ensure that our kids can study. And you promised the parents that you were going to lift the burden off their shoulder. All the kids need to do as soon as they reach as far as 12th grade, they should just study their lesson to pass the WAS exams. And the government of Liberia pays not less than $4 million every year to ensure that your mandates, your instruction is being carried out. And our kids have been progressing from 2018 to present. The records are there. You can go to our regional sisters and sister countries. Our kids are passing with credits in this country.
Alexander Duopo. Now, here is academic Isaac Zawolo with the names.
The Liberia National Education Award Program is a flagship program of Dr. George M. Weah-led government that was inaugurated in 2022 to honor and celebrate teachers and school administrators for their commitment to educating the future leaders of Liberia. By recognizing teachers and school administrators who bring honor to the profession, the government of Liberia hopes to motivate students, elevate the respect of the community education, and energize teachers across the country. Under this program, we recognize the nation's best teacher and the nation's best school administrator for schools ranging from nursery to grade 12. So it's not for college teachers. We also intended to recognize 15 counted best teachers and 15 counted best school administrators. The whole award program is an opt-in award program. So you have to apply. We don't go in the classroom to find you believe that will be impossible to do. You have to apply. This year, we received around 70 applicants for the 2 categories. So with the team that I work with, Your Excellency, I'm extremely happy to say that the ones who will be presented to you today are indeed some of the best teachers in our country. They are the ones who are working so hard to educate our children. It's no surprise, Your Excellency, that the WOL result came up, and every year we are going higher and higher. That's one of the reasons why I want to recognize our teachers, because they are doing a phenomenal job. I also want to at least recognize the first winner, who we call the ambassador for this award, Miss Precious Joy Stewart. She won the award last year. And this year, we'll be representing to you another person. And one of the greatest things about I wouldn't name the person, but there's something good about this person. This person comes from the STEM area. That's something we are trying to get grounded in our schools all across Liberia, from the STEM area. And this person doesn't come from the city area, doesn't come from Montserrat County, which makes sense so that our touch on education in Liberia is spreading all across the country, not just in the capital city.
That's the man, Isaac Zawolo of the Ministry of Education. So the winner couldn't have felt any better. Was a proud and a motivation to put in more. Let's hear from him, Alan Thomas.
It is a tremendous honor to address this esteemed gathering and to represent the dedicated and passionate educators who work tirelessly to shape the future of our great nation. Before I quickly get to my remarks, I would like to appreciate and thank the following. First and foremost, I would like to extend my profound appreciation to the government of the Republic of Liberia, headed by His Excellency Dr. George Manawia, through the Ministry of Education.
Sorry, that's the wrong voice. We'll get to that. But let's move to President George Weah and hear what he had to say at that event on yesterday.
Today we do so honor the team, the Lone Star, the symbol of unity and nationalism. We take pride in the stripes of our national symbol, while remembering the patriotism of its maker. Reflects our rich history and the valor of our founding fathers. It symbolizes freedom as well as the sweat and toil of those who preceded us. We remain grateful to God for His abounding grace and mercy upon our nation and people, and for bringing us this far. In spite of our many struggles, Liberia continues to make steady progress towards strengthening the foundations of peace and democracy and respecting fundamental rights as individuals by our forefathers. While the flag brings us enormous pride as a people, the day is also meant to remember the heroism of the 7 women who designed it, led by Susanna Lewis. They masterfully put together one of the most beautiful emblems in the world, ensuring that every fabric and color has a special meaning. We will continue to honor their contributions to Liberia and their contribution of all our great women leaders, including our former president, whose personal sacrifice have helped us develop our nation. The eyes of the world will therefore be on us this October. Let us demonstrate that we have transitioned to a more democratic nation with robust institutions that have been developed. I am looking forward to that with keen anticipation. My fellow citizens, I say to all of you in and around and in the diaspora, co-residents, our visiting guests here residing in Liberia, I pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I wish you all a happy Flag Day. God bless you all. God bless Mama Liberia, and I thank you.
President George Weah speaking at the 176th Flag Day celebration in Monrovia on yesterday. So those people receive the award. Best dress went to St. Teresa. William V. Stutman won. Best I Write, followed by the best teacher. Allen is the best teacher for 2023 in the Republic, not Maserado, not the school, or, yeah, the school he teaches at, but the entire country. He's the boss for all the teachers in Liberia, all the teachers, whether you like it or not. When a person is honored as the best, it means that he or she rose to the occasion, but it doesn't negate the fact that the others aren't good. They are good. But this is the person who stood up, who met all of the criteria as set by the authority. So he got 2 million Liberian dollars. That is a good amount to start with. It can do a number of things in the house. It can start doing a number of things. 2 million Liberian dollars. Forget about the Liberian dollars, but it is substantial. It can do a lot more, but not necessarily the money, but what he put into. When you have a responsibility, you put everything, you give your all to it. You may not know who may be watching. As a matter of fact, everywhere you find yourself, everywhere we find ourselves, in the office, at the business center, on the sidewalk, wherever, we got people observing. In the office, you may not know. That's why when you have something to do, give everything to it. People may think that you try to prove a point or you try to prove yourself as being the best. Oh, yes, you can take that as a compliment because you are giving your best. At the close of the day, you will be rewarded because you can tell. You can tell your boss may not be watching. The janitor may be watching. How many of you know in this country and in this world, janitor recommended that a person ascend to this position? And it was shocking to everybody why a janitor will insist that this person. And the janitor will give a simple reason. Every time we came, this person will be available to do. Every time we came, this person will be available. So you can tell. You can tell on the market table, whether it's raining, sun shining, do whatever. And that's why I like the saying from Martin Luther King Jr. He said, whatever your hand finds to do it to the best of your ability. Whether you win or you failed, be the best of whatever you are. Because you know what going to happen? Reward awaits you. Reward awaits. And Martin Luther didn't stop there. He gave another motivational line. He said, even if a man builds his house in the wood, the wall will make a beaten path through his door. That means based on the person's expertise. And if the person is in the tree, if the person is in the wood, the wall will carve that wood to get that person out because of his substance, dedication, and commitment. Society rewards whatever you find yourself doing, do it to the best of your ability. Don't give up. Another thing you need to do, you have to guide against distraction. You have to stop listening to several voices. Just concentrate on what you have to do. Do it to the best of your ability. And you might get $2 million coming your way as Allen received his 2 million Liberian dollars. I hope I was the one in such a position, but I'm not Allen. I can be Allen. Allen is academic. I am a broadcaster, but it's good. Motivation is good. You know what that does for Allen? The rest of the people who receive award, they are motivated. They are challenged to do even more. They want to be at that level to be receiving the award. So it's a challenge. They wouldn't want another person to come and take it. That's constructive jealousy. So they will do more in the office, at the business center, wherever they find themselves. They will have to do more so that they receive the award, so that you get recognition. Isn't that what life is all about? And isn't that what God said? All of us on earth, we are fighting for a reward. The very God tells us that at the close of the day, we will be rewarded for how we serve Him, how we serve humanity. We're going to be rewarded. If we serve well, we'll be rewarded. If we didn't serve well, wouldn't be rewarded. So let me say before I move to the next talking point, you want to motivate your people as the boss. Whatever. It can be minister, it can be president, vice president, director, supervisor, whatever the position. Just motivate your employee or employees to do. Motivation is not capital. They did not give Allen that 2 million because he needed money. Allen isn't poor. As Allen isn't downtrodden. He isn't wretched. No. But he's motivated. He was giving those dollars so that in Liberian term we can say drink your cold water. That's our tradition. That one we can live here. But the main thing there is they are telling Allen, you did extremely well. That you you humble yourself, you listen to the person that was over you or still over you, and you heeded the pieces of advice. And now those pieces of advice that you heeded from your overall boss or bosses, this is how it has paid off. This is the dividend. So you want to motivate your understudy. You want to motivate your employee or employees, encourage them. You may not give them money. Don't give them money. No, just encourage them. Just motivate them with kind words, with good words, with encouraging words. That's all you need to get the job done because the job is result oriented. That's what a job is everywhere. Business is result oriented. If the woman doesn't put much into the business, she wouldn't get customers coming. Then, if customers are not coming, she's not going to get any money. So, what's the result of coming outside, putting all her energy into it, and she received nothing in return? No, the work is result oriented. Who has the burden of proof? The boss. Who has the commitment and the readiness? The understudy. So, as the boss will motivate you, as the boss will encourage you, you show that commitment and humility. And at the close of the day, you're going to be rewarded. You're going to get paid for it. That's investment. And you have the return on your investment. So you want to do that wherever you find yourself. If you're going to school, in high school, university, whatever the higher institution, put everything into it. Just live with this line from Martin Luther King. Whatever your hands find to do it to the best of your ability. Whether you win or you failed, be the best of whatever you are. And you will see society rewarding you. Progress, award, prosperity, never on a silver platter. Nobody should give you that illusion. It's never on a silver platter. You have to work. You have to burn the midnight candle, as Martin Luther King said. Even though that line was not purely academic line, but revolutionary, but we can use it contextually in such a time. Burning the midnight candle is to say waking up, being active, ready, not slothful. No, but rather buoyant to do what you have to do to achieve the goal that you have before you or you have set. This is Good Morning Liberia on Voice of Liberia, 104.1. We're transmitting from Capital Bypass in Monrovia. So, what's the next thing we've got to talk about? We spice up the show today. Sad one. Front Page Africa is reporting that Councillor Henry Reid Cooper, former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, is dead. According to the paper, it gathered Thursday, which was yesterday, that Councillor Cooper had been ailing for some time now and had been on ventilator at John F. Kennedy Medical Center in Monrovia. The paper went on to say the late Councillor Cooper's career was marked by significant contributions to the country's legal system. His dedication to public service extended to his tenure as Chief Justice during the transitional administration of businessman Judy Bryant from 2003 to 2005. In 2013, he was appointed by former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf as acting mayor of Monrovia following the resignation of Madam Mary Brough. The paper goes on to say Councillor Cooper's legal expertise was also evident in his role as a counselor at law at Cooper and Tugba Law Office, where he provided legal counsel and services to his fellow citizens. During his time as Chief Justice, Councillor Cooper voiced concerns about the state of Liberia's judicial system. He openly criticized the lack of trained personnel and inadequate wages for lawyers, emphasizing the need to attract qualified individuals to serve as judges. He firmly believed that offering just compensation was crucial to maintaining a fair and efficient justice system. In one of his notable statements, Chief Justice Cooper addressed the issue of corruption in the legal profession, asserting that lawyers who do not practice their profession as required by the Constitution should be held accountable. However, he also emphasized that if employees were adequately compensated, allegations of corruption could not be mitigated. Councillor Henry Reid Cooper's legacy in Liberia's legal community will be remembered, and his contributions to the justice system will continue to influence the country's legal landscape for years to come. Liberia, yes, years to come. Okay. So our condolences to his family, the government, the judicial sector, and friends. He been ill for a while now, and he served his country in accordance with the law. As there's a line in the Bible like that. I think there's a line. Yeah, Acts 13:36 say, and for David, after he served his own generation by the will of God, fell asleep and was buried with his fathers. So we can say the same thing of Councillor Cooper. Having served his own generation by the law, fell asleep, and he has gone to be with the Lord in heaven. Our condolences again to the judiciary, the government, his families, and friends. It's a sad time. Nobody wants death, but nobody can avoid death. Only God who has the final say. Let's move to Councillor Tiawan Ganglo. He's running to be president. And he's uncomfortable with what is unfolding, electoral violence. He thinks it is wrong. It is not the right way to win any seat. Moreover, violence infringes on the rights of the people. As much as it is their right to exercise their franchise, it is not their right to be harmed. That what is unfolding in Liberia in these campaign times, he feels that it should come to an end. It shouldn't be this way going into October 10th, that it is wrong, it is bad, it is undemocratic, it is uncivilized, it is immoral.
Call for calm. We should not compromise the peace and unity of this country in any manner. It is our responsibility as leaders to be role models in promoting peace in this country. We are still struggling in sustaining peace because the silence of weapons is not necessarily peace. It just provides an opportunity for people to build peace. So we are still building peace after 14 years of civil conflict. I'm again reiterating my call on all political leaders in this country to tone down the rhetoric about violence. As Joseph Boakai, the oldest of all of the presidential candidates, actually said the other day that no one has monopoly over violence. I condemn that statement because the son of Nimba in an area called Vaingle in Melege was reportedly killed yesterday based on argument between him and supporters of Unity Party, because it is my understanding that those who allegedly killed him were supporters or are supporters of Vice Standard Bearer of the Unity Party, Jeremiah Kuhn. And the victim was a key supporter of Garrison Yelu, Attorney Garrison Yelu, who was chairman of the Governors Commission and a key campaigner for the CDC. I don't think anybody in this country, given the violence that Liberians experience in this country, should ever say anything that promotes violence in any shape, form, or manner. Even as we are competing for national leadership, we are all Liberians, and we must not compromise the Liberian value of showing sympathy when someone is bereaved. Because of this, I've called upon all LPP members throughout Liberia on today to show sign of bereavement by not playing any of LPP's campaign music and showing any sign of festivity. We must show sadness and clearly show by our conduct throughout Liberia today that we share the sorrow that the CDC is experiencing at this moment. I want to express our condolences to the Coalition for Democratic Change and the family members that lost their lives yesterday, tragic motor accident around Banga. Like I said the other day, opposition is not enmity. It is an established tradition of all Liberian people from all counties, all ethnic groups, all religious persuasions, that when somebody dies in a town, the whole town is bereaved and everybody sympathizes with the family of the bereaved.
Councillor Tiawan Gonglo, one of those who are contesting this year's election, he couldn't have put it any better. No, he couldn't. Very succinct. It's not the violence that gives you the vote. But let me start with what the human part of his position, the human part, not the politics, the human part. He said that absolutely this is a foregone conclusion that no music, no activity, no campaign activity whatsoever of his political institution should be played. That means they ceased temporarily from doing anything political as they sympathized and empathized with the event that led to what transpired in Nimba and those two girls from CDC. He couldn't have put it any better. That's human. That's how it ought to be. Because you know why? Life is a cycle. You may think that because you people are all in this political battle for supremacy, so when something happens to your colleague party or partisan, it's not anything. Once you aren't affected, no. But you have to look at it from human. It could have been you. It could have been you. And I like the avalanche of of condolences that are coming. And I don't see them from a political standpoint, but from a human perspective, because we are all humans. Nobody wishes death of himself or herself. Nobody wants accident of any nature of himself or herself. No one knows the future. But we can try as best as we can within ourselves to be safer in what we do. Sometimes we invite violence by being emotional, and you can get your goal being achieved that way. No, we have to stop with just 46 days to go. We have to stay clear of all of those things. Councillor Tiawan Gongle couldn't have put it any better. Before him, there were voices condemning electoral violence in these campaign periods. You can take on, you will not be happy when somebody has died, and then you see it as a means to mock the next person. No, you can. Why? It is true that we understand in politics, people would say you can stop them from saying what they want to say, but you also have to understand it from a human standpoint. You may not be, when you are excited for somebody's death or pains that they're going through, it may not, it might happen to you, but it may not be in the same political context. That is why the very God who created us, he said it. He said, when someone is hurt, when someone is bereaved, when someone is going through terrible time, when someone have had accident, you don't ever try to say anything funny about it, but rather empathize. And the reason for that, he stated it because you might just have yours happening to you and you want people to sympathize and empathize with you. And when they are not, but rather rejoicing, you will look at them as bad people. So we have to stop all of these things, people, loyalists, fanatics, whatever way you call yourself. It is your right to support your party. It is your right to support your candidate, but it is not your right to endanger the life of another person. It is not your right to cause stir. It is not your right to do anything that will create uneasiness and infringes on the right of another person. You can't do that. That's not democracy. That's not election campaigning. Let us stop it. Everybody has the right to move. The law says freedom of association, freedom of movement, freedom to gather. As much as it is your right to gather, it is the next man's right. The law covers everybody, the law supports everybody, the law protects everybody. We can be engaging in these things, and yet we call ourselves democratic country. It's not because what we see on the screen, because most of the people in this country, they take things from outside. What they see on the screen, they bring it. If the other people in their country doing something awful, and then they bring it, that's why Liberia is the only country that uses another country to justify the wrong in their own country. You listen to them, yeah, what they say, but Liberia not the only country. Liberia not the only country thing happening. Liberia not the only country. No, you don't use another man's situation to justify yours. That man's content and nature different. So if you think because you see images, so you should bring it into your country and you don't know what necessitated that man's own, it might be even bad for your country and you. You have to stop it. Election campaign simply means selling your manifesto. It means you have prepared a very good proposal and you are convinced that that proposal is unique and it is palatable, that the electorate will start to taste it and eat it without reservation. When you go to a restaurant and the first time you taste the food, when they bring it to you, what do you see people do? They're telling their friends, we're going back to that restaurant. In a sense, the restaurant presented a good proposal and they bought that proposal, so they will always be at that restaurant. It's the same with political manifesto. You only want to tell what your candidate is, what your candidate has done, what your candidate is doing. Campaign is all about intellectualism. We use the intellect. What we have as our proposal or our plan or manifesto is what we sell. If we are selling our manifesto or plan and the people seem not to be readily in a ready position to accept it, we turn to the next people who are ready to listen. That's how it is in campaign. Campaign is enjoyable. Campaign is very, very enjoyable if you don't know. It's very enjoyable. That campaign is the first ballot. Campaign is the first ballot. If you can conduct yourselves well, if the political party can conduct itself well, if the candidates can conduct themselves well, guess what? They have won the first battle, the first vote. The second vote is what we will be doing by God's grace on October 10th. And then beyond that, if there will be a second round, and there will be a second round, that's the third vote. So you want to win the first ballot in this campaign free of violence. And let me say to you individually, your life is important than any candidate, than any political party. As a matter of truth, the candidates don't value your life than their lives. Those of you fanatics, loyalists, party supporters that running around here and there, I'm not saying that you shouldn't run around. You shouldn't support your candidate. It is your right to do so, but do it in a safer manner. Don't risk your life. Don't go against your brother because he wears CDC t-shirt and you wearing Unity Party t-shirt and you feel that, oh no, he shouldn't cross your path or he may have said this to you. No. And then you'll get into a clash and then somebody is hurt. Political parties will not take full responsibility for you. Even if they took full responsibility for you, you're going to be living with those marks on you. If you are alive, you will live with the marks forever and ever. If you lose your life, the political party, independent candidate, the politicians, they're moving on with their lives. And you gone. And your family will only live with that psychological scar. So you want individually to avoid these things. Look at your life. You have future ahead of you. You have many years to go. But you can cut short your life. Life is long. Nobody should give you the illusion that life is short. Life isn't short. Life is long. The very God tells us that we can cut it short based on the way we think and do. But life is long. A couple of days ago, I saw the celebration of a lady 107. And I just went back to Hebrews 13:8. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. God set longevity in place. He set longevity in place. But we can cut short that longevity. So you want to be careful. Gathered at your party headquarters, wherever the rally will be, in a safer, democratic manner. You listen to your standard bearer or presidential candidate or legislative candidate after he or she is through delivering that manifesto to you, you go home. If somebody asks you in your yard, how was your rally? What did your standard bearer or candidate say? You can most respectfully tell him or her that he said he would do this. He would do that. He will start with this when he wins. Now, what are you doing? That person now that you're explaining it to, who asks you, that person is extending your standard bearer or your party manifesto. He is going to tell another person that Sam Andrews say when he wins, he will build 2 toilets. He will build 1 polytechnic. But Sam Andrews, the person who Sam Andrews gave that information to, that asked Sam Andrews, not part of Sam Andrews' party, but because Sam Andrews, in a respectful manner, explained to him, so he takes it to another person. So what is happening there? He extending my manifesto. He is crusading, evangelizing politically for me. That's what you do. That's how you do it. Go to the rally and listen. Resist any temptation. Disengage. When you notice any sign from anybody that will want to cause stir, you move from there. Or you notify the security. The police may not be everywhere with all of the political parties and independent candidates, but I think I have seen a lot of them with these political institutions and independent candidates. And moreover, these political parties and independent candidates got their security that the train. You can notify any one of them that, oh, that guy in the blue coat, he's saying this, he's saying that, and he attempted to do this. If we allow that to happen, of course, then please let us do something. And most respectfully, they will go to the guy in the blue coat and just talk to him and allow him to leave. If he insists that he's not leaving now, then it will be clear to everybody, truly, the accusation that came that he wants to cause stir is true. Simple as that. But don't confront anybody. Don't give insult for insult. Don't give physical attack for physical attack. No, not at all. We don't want the last line of Martin Luther King address, when he said, before this victory is won, some will be called that Mr. Rival and agitator, and some will even have to go physical death. And physical death is the price that one must pay to free that children from a permanent psychological death, and nothing shall be more redemptive. No, we want that one. So I think the Standard Bearer Councillor Tiawan Gonglo, one of the brains, one of the brains in this country that this country relies on, couldn't have put it any better. You want to avoid that. If not, listen, there are people from previous elections that have marks on them. There are people from previous elections who are still on hospital bed. They can't wake up. They're dead. There are people from previous elections who are under this ground. If you are not mindful, you are gone. The politicians are very mindful. They want to be safe. They want to enjoy life or continue enjoying life. That's why they build their perimeter. They build security around them. The security not around the candidate because security ought to be. The security around there because they want to keep him safe and he wants to be safe. That is why before he or she moves, the last thing he can ask for, where my security, where my guys? Because he doesn't want to be harmed. When riot is at any one of those rallies, what do you see? The first person that started the move, that is the standard bearer, that the candidate running. You know why? Because he doesn't want to get hurt. Doesn't want any mark to be on him or her. No, doesn't want to go home and his or her children asking, what kind of mark on you so? The blood coming down. No. Neither do they want their children to be hurt. Many of you got future. You got brighter future ahead. God has laid out everybody's future. But you can cut it. You may not experience it when you think that your loyalty should transcend the loyalty of the standard bearer or the party. No, you can. You can. God, who created all of us in Jesus Christ, did not do it. Did not do it, not at all. Jesus had limitations. We got limitations. You can be more loyal than the boss. No. So when something happens to you, they're just going to say, oh, sorry. They may find some kind of way perfunctorily to go to your family and sit with your family for a few minutes, not hours, and use these words. We come to identify, to say sorry. Sam Andrews was a loyal uh, partisan. He was very faithful and dedicated. He risked his life for the party. He was a revolutionary. All kinds of thought. They will use those fine words. Those are all flattery. You got to be very careful. You got to look at your life. You can sacrifice your life for nobody. Don't engage into anything called violence in these campaign periods. Stop it. If you can, you will die. And when you die, it's over. It's finished. Your parents will remain on earth crying, weeping, living with that psychological hurt eternally. And it might even carry one of them. People die like that. Mother died like that. Father died like that. Weeping over the death of the boy, the girl, because they went to do something that they felt was right to do, but from a societal standpoint, from the law perspective, it wasn't right. When you die, you finish. You go. It's over. Nothing and nobody can bring you back. The rest of the people, they stay, they enjoy themselves. So what do you see? The second sign you see. Mama, we can understand how you're feeling right now. You don't cry. We know your pain. We share your pain. And we will come back to see you. Yes, small thing so that you can. That small thing there, if mama go check it, that's something 10,000 or 15,000 liberty. That's how politicians are. That's why you don't risk your life. You people don't see these things, so you're thinking nothing. We see it every day, year in, year out. We see it. And I like how Martin Luther King put it. He said, God has allowed me to live in this period to see what is unfolding in history so that we correct the anomalies. And I can say the same of myself, that God has allowed me to live in the past and in this time to see what happened in the past to correct them now so that they don't happen now. They gave you 15,000, 20,000, and they don't hand the money to you from their own hand. They gave it to the bodyguard. So the bodyguard will get on the side and give. You see the white envelope. And you know that liberty because puffer. So they leave 10,000, 20,000 liberty. And then what do you see them getting in? The tinted windshield. In the meantime, that man has 2,000, 3,000 US in his pocket. But he preferred to change 100 liberty or 100 United States dollars into liberty, put it in the envelope, and gave to you. In essence, he's telling you that had your son taught well, had your daughter taught well, he or she would not have been in this situation. Since you did not train him well, you did not train her well, and then he lived by his own idea or by his own thought, this is the pay. Listen, don't ever risk your life for politicians. Don't do it. Don't risk your life for politicians. All over the world, look at it, all over the world. When something happens to you, they use you at press conference. They use you in their news. They do a lot more. Unity Party had that misunderstanding or that melee that flared up. What happened? I said it before it happened. And it wasn't a surprise to me when Unity Party press conference, they had one of the injured guys there making fun of him. They took him to the press conference to showcase, to use him as evidence, to justify their campaign. That's how I saw it. Instead of taking the man to the hospital to make sure that he's treated, he's in the hospital being treated, why they had the press conference, they carried the man to the press conference. So all the cameras will be on him and see him. you're put on. God gave us five senses. The five senses more than sufficient for us to conduct ourselves right, to avoid conflict, avoid crisis, to escape any temptation. Had God given us seven, eight, all of us would have been dead. Just the five, we find it difficult to move normally. I beg us all, I add my voice to President Weah, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo, Simeon Freeman, all of those people, all of those stakeholders who have been preaching, civil society organizations, religious groups, pastors, imams, all of those who have been condemning electoral violence, preaching against it. I add my voice to them. Let us have a clean campaign. Let us show to the world that our democracy has grown. And that is why I don't like to use that word that many people will use, fledgling democracy. You know how many years we've been using that word, fledgling democracy, fledgling democracy? Our democracy is strong. It may not be at the level of America or France or Great Britain or Italy or any of those regional countries. But the same tenets they have in place that the world or the international community can grade them. We have those same tenets in place. We are executing them. So we can prove to them, as we did 2020, we can prove that truly our democracy has grown. We can't be revolving. No, we got to expand. We revolve too long. We have to move from revolving to expanding. We have to move from just the rhetorics, as Councillor Tiawan Gonglo said, to a more issue-based campaign. Those are the tenets of democracy. So you want to avoid all of those anomalies. You want to avoid all of those temptations and electoral violence, and just stick to the issue. Risk not your life for anybody. I beg you. Don't do that. I can never, ever do that. Never. You have to stand like a man. You have to stand like a woman politically. And not only in politics, but wherever you are. As a human being, you have to stand up. You have to give society every reason to believe that you are a person with sense. Don't risk your life. Don't do it. Don't do it. I've been looking for that clip, but my computer damaged. So I will try. I must. I'm getting there closer. I'm getting closer. There are three voices. The first voice on President Weah, and I like how the president said it. During the 2020 special senatorial elections, he and the rest of the country was cautioning people against electoral violence. And I think the president must have heard about this awful thing. And he was uncomfortable, like all the stakeholders in 2020. So at one of the gatherings, after being formal, his closing, then he decided to caution. Yeah, what he said, I may not get it verbatim because I've stopped listening to it for a good while now, but I think I can recall some of the lines. He said, when you take the machete, the cutlass, the knife, and you chop each other, while you're chopping each other, you're I like how the president said it. He said, we're on the table drinking drinking, toasting glass here and there. And when I heard that, the cold bomb came on my skin, followed by other people who will speak against that. Now, what the president was saying in essence, that, oh, look, come on, man. This thing is an intellectual thing. All of us using our mind. That's the reason we went to school. Why you would think that you should engage in violent conduct when violence is not intellectualism? So when you think that you won't kill yourself for us, no, man, nobody will kill yourself for me. So when you think that we are against each other, we're not against each other. And let me tell you, you think this opposition and government people, government politicians, you think they are against each other? No, they are not. They are friends. They are good friends. Most of the people that came a long way over the years, they had a number of things in common. That's one thing you have to know. They came a long way. Have you ever gone to Temple of Justice? Have you ever got at the court early to witness a case just to have an education? You'll see the prosecuting lawyer and defense lawyer. At a certain point in time, after they have made their respective cases, the argument legally gets so heated. And sometimes emotion from the two of them will rise up and they will start to use words by their legal profession. And you would think that these two lawyers, they are never going to speak to each other again. But guess what? Right after the judge adjourns that case, where do you see them? They're sitting in the restaurant on the same table with the plates before them and the beer, and they're amusing themselves and they're talking the issues. They are friends. That's how the politicians are. Don't see. You saw it 2020. In the 2020 senatorial election, let me give you another classic example. Probably you people don't really observe, but you ought to do that. There was this strong rift that was reported, and the cartoons went and the speeches went between Senator Darius DeLon and Senator T5. At that time, that's how they would call him, T5. And people felt that, oh yeah, these two people, they would never ever speak. Thank God that they are apart. Because you know, they have some people who just want to see conflict. They just want to see people adrift. So they felt that Senator DeLon and Senator T5, they were never ever going to speak to each other again. So they were excited. I'm talking to you loyalists and fanatics. You got to be very careful. These people are never against each other. No, they are more united. But there is diversity in politics. Everybody can have the same ideology or the same path to tread. But it doesn't say that they aren't friends. Some of these people are relative, blood relative. You have to know all of these things. So what happened? With the passage of time, what came out? You saw Senator DeLon and his brother on the grounds of the legislature, hugging each other, laughing, walking together, joking. So those people who were excited initially that, oh yeah, the two people, they're not friendly, they will never speak to each other again, they felt shame. The bear, as we can say, bowed their heads down in shame. The politicians, they are never against each other. They are brothers, they are sisters. Don't risk your life for them. When they finish, they go into their places. All of these people that you see running the opposition, it's just that you may not be opportune in the night. But most of the time, they are together in the evening. A government politician will call an opposition politician and say, "Mama, where are you?" So, so and so place on Broad Street. They say, "Oh, can we meet at XYZ place so that we just knock glass?" I said, "No problem." And truly, he goes there. The government politician and the opposition politician, they're in the race, but they're amusing themselves. You know why? As far as they're concerned, it is not hate, like Councillor Tiawan Gonglo said. It's not enmity. It's not war. We're not on a battlefront. If we ever on a battlefront, it's intellectual battlefront. So we use our intellectual weapons. We open our intellectual arsenal and discuss the issues. That's how you subdue a man. That's the reason everybody goes to school, so that the intellect is full grown. These guys are not against themselves. Don't risk your life. Avoid any violence. Don't tread any path like that. Nobody should influence you. Your life is important, just as the candidate knows that his life is important. No candidate wants to die now. No candidate wants to see himself or herself laying out in hospital. No. They don't want it, because you know why? They see life as being very good, very precious, enjoyable. So when you risk your own life for a politician, you're going to find yourself in hospital. And given the nature of what may happen to you, you might stay on that hospital bed for a longer time. If it goes ultra, you might just find yourself going under the ground. So you want to keep it clean, quiet. Everybody, I see that people are getting used to it gradually, but we'll keep talking. Some people, some of the rallies we have seen went peaceful. They gathered, they talked, and then they left. Simple as that. That's all. When you say you partisan, it means you're selling your idea. And behind this microphone, anybody ask me about Voice of Liberia, I'm on an obligation. If I don't want to say anything, I wouldn't. If I want to say, I will say. But I will not check anybody out. I will not say anything that will cause confusion. So you tell me, Sam Andrews, why Voice Liberia? Say on capital bypass. How Voice of Liberia looks, it this way, it that way, that way. And finish. So when a person comes to Voice of Liberia, say, yeah, Sam Andrews told the truth. So that person will respect me. I sold Voice of Liberia. Now, what do you do? When you're candidate, you must know your candidate. Know what your candidate stands for. Know what he is selling to the people. That's what loyalist is. That's what a partisan is. You know the manifesto. You take the manifesto, you read it. You read it. You read it. You read it. You rehearse it. A part of you. So when somebody asks you, so our party, we had four counts of our manifesto or my candidate. And these four counts, honor, health, we have this, that, that. Honor education, we will do this, this, that. So what are you doing? You're convincing that person. At the close of the day, the person might be a part of you. But violence doesn't bring anybody on your side. Violence doesn't give you vote. Violence doesn't say you will win election. No. Violence takes away votes from you. Violence reduces your number. When you can run your campaign just on the issues, it adds votes to it increases your membership. It adds votes to your already secure votes. It puts you in an advantageous position to win. So as I go to the next issue, please, let us keep it that way in our country. Look at the words of our national anthem. Look at the culture. Look at our society. Look at yourself as Liberians. We aren't fond of those things. Go back go years back coming into this time. Our country is not noted for these violent acts that we see of other countries that we watch on international screens, that we listen to every day. Some of these things are exported or imported, rather. So you want to keep it clean. You want to tell the people that Liberia, democracy is strong, as evident by how we conduct ourselves. We've got international observers here. We've got international partners. We got other people who are just observing to see. We got people from other countries. And let me be very blunt, who want to see that something funny happen. Not everybody wants to see that Liberia has a peaceful campaign and peaceful election. Not everybody wants to say, not everybody, me people, I'm talking about people from outside now. There are stakeholders here who are helping us, they're observing. There are foreign partners who are observing. There are also bad people, bad foreigners who want to hear that our country is in conflict. Because you know why? It's one of the ways they make money. How they report the negatives. They wouldn't look at the positives, but they will capitalize on the negatives and portray it or report it in a way that it will catch the international community attention in a twinkle of an eye and say, oh, Liberia this, Liberia that. You have to guide against those people too. When you're in your house, you protect your house against all of these things. You can leave your house vulnerable. You have to know all of these things. Okay? Right. So this is Good Morning Liberia. Let me say good morning to you again on Voice of Liberia 104.1. Today is the 25th of August, and it's graduation day for Stella Marie's students. And one person that stands out is at that zoning. He's graduating today. Congratulations to you, brother. Thank you ever so much for putting in everything you can. That's what determination is. At the close of the day, you reap the dividend on your investment. Thank you so much. Congratulations to you again, Ada Zoning, as you walk out of that institution. And every one of you who are coming up, thank God that you did extremely well. You put everything into it. You have the responsibility now to make your country better and better and best. So let's go to the next issue. We'll try to add some some soldier aspect to it. I was listening to Famata Famata with the lifestyle, and she said something very interesting. I live all through, and I think it's worth expanding on. If you look at it carefully, you'll see that is exactly what is happening in our country amongst the male, the female, all kinds of things are happening. That's true. She's right. Yeah, she's right. So, what is what is? She's right. She's right. So let's take this break, and then when we come back, we will have you weigh in. I know many of you want to have your say. We've got the proposed legal abortion bill to talk about. We got other important, significant issues to talk about. When we come back after the break, then we turn to you to have your say. Until then, this is Good Morning Liberia, and this is Sam Andrews with you this morning. Samira and Grace, um, not too well under the weather, but the show must go on. Oh, yes, that's what it is. You know, the weather has all kinds of things in it, and they stress also. It weighs you down. Uh, okay. So let's take this break. And then when we come back, we turn to you. This is Good Morning Liberia on Voice of Liberia 104.1 with me, Sam Andrews. This 25th day of August. We're transmitting from Capital Bypass, Morovia. Mm, okay. Okay. Something is happening. Something is happening. Trying to get a song of peace on Liberia. This is Alpha Blondie. Peace in Liberia.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Moravia. We want peace in Liberia, peace in Moravia.
It was produced during the Civil War, but it still resonates today with the content.
Oh, Babylon shall not rise again.
Though we do not have the guns all over the place, the bullets not flying, but we talking violence, and that was violence. It still exists today.
Babylon shall not stand again. Because every day they're talking about The Liberian civil war, and everywhere over Jalen, muddy rivers of blood, oh Lord, no matter who wins, Liberia is crying out, no matter who lose, Liberia is crying out, no matter who's right, they've gotta stop the fight, no matter who's wrong, the devil is stronger. We want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia. We want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia. And Babylon shall not rise again. Babylon shall not rise again. Oh, Babylon shall not stand again. Babylon shall not stand again. Calling on Jesus Christ to save I. We're calling on Jesus Christ to save I. We're calling on Allah to save I. We're calling Adonai to save I.
Mr. Ure told me we can put 15,000 people in the street. I wasn't going to put 15,000 people in the street to kill people because people were armed. We heard at Coca-Cola factory, they were there waiting. Was I going to allow people to destroy this country, kill people because of me? No. Let them see it. And believe you me, if I had taken that country at that time, I wouldn't be living. Because even if you are poor, go in the street, the people will say, we are going to put diamond. So God said, let them see it. I think by now they will be convinced that the decision they made at the time, whether it was the right decision or not, they were cheated. I felt that there were a lot of violations that were documented. So be it. I mean, that is part of history. I didn't want to go into that. Saying at that time, that was the feeling of the young people at the time, and we didn't want to work against that. So we said, let it be so. So that history will judge us.
You're listening to Voice Good Morning Liberia on Voice of Liberia with me, Sam Andrews, on this 25th day of August, Friday, Monrovia. We're transmitting from Capital Bypass, Monrovia. So let's turn to you now that you have your say, and then we move to the second segment of our talking points on the show this morning. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907 the numbers to have your say. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Alpha Blondie, he said, no matter who wins, no matter who loses, we are one. And that's what democracy is all about. You're not going to have two persons, three persons there. You're going to have one person. The seat is for one person. And he said, within that same line, the devil is dividing us. That's true. People give in. Every day, people blaming the devil, praying against the devil. but giving the devil space. The devil is winning. He is the father of confusion, of violence. You have to have second thought. He's winning. He wants to make sure, his goal is to make sure that a country is destabilized, homes are destabilized everywhere. So if we can guide against him, because very many of the people that in all of these electoral stuff, very many of the people are Christians. But allow the devil to have his foothold. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907 the numbers to have your say on the show this morning. Voice of Liberia. With me, it's Andrews. Good morning, Liberia. Good morning, Liberia. Okay. So this one, let's see where we can go. Good morning.
Good morning, Brother Andrew.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you for your platform and your talking on this discussion. Are you talking about electoral violence? And here we need to call space a space. You cannot put a round hole, square peg in a round hole. When we talk about election violence, let's look at the people that lead into this. You look in the political race, there are three candidates that are talking. And of the three candidates, you got Joseph Waka, you got Alexander Kume, and you got Georgia. And we all know the history of our political party in Liberia. Georgia CDC has been the number one violent party that we got in Liberia. And this can, from what they did the starting of the election, how can you take a man, take casket, and put our candidate on the
but Chief,
carriage?
that has been there. It was outrightly condemned by everybody. Thank you so much.
Okay, I guess
it was condemned. That was condemned. So we can bring the past into the present. That was dealt with already. Thank you ever so much for calling. Have a nice day. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. And you?
Good.
Let's hear you. 0770 907 907. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, St. Andrew.
Good morning.
I'm friend.
Good morning, sir.
St. Andrew, I really appreciate you. This word is in capital FM. Are you on? You left?
Go to the point. This is Voice of Liberia 104.1. 0770 907 907. You want to know, so when the person finish, then you can call to inquire, but you can be inquiring on the air. No, they get something they call off air. When that is finished, when the person is finished, then you can call and inquire. Good morning.
My government, Flammer, my name Johnny in from Johnsonville.
Let's hear you, Flammer.
Yeah, on the issue of violence, I love to describe the stuff on social media of other people trying to make fool out of those that lost their life is very bad in Liberia, and we need to abolish that. I love to encourage each and every one of us as Liberians to abolish that.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice day. Good morning. Good morning. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
From 12th Street. Andrew, you one of the men who talked about peace. I admire your voice, a lot. But you are working for a man who speak against peace, like for example during the election, and also now he's saying, "Oh, no apologies to the Liberian people that wanted to country into chaos." You understand?
during the general election when he trying to
Chief, my
trickle
man,
down.
my man, but you accusing the man and you're doing the same thing. You see that? You see, sorry, but actually, my man, people need education in this country. You talking, you referencing Sekou. Something that happened, you people claim, in your opinion, it was wrong. You know how many years? Then you're bringing it back. You're bringing it back. So when we talk about Joseph Yuma Boaga talking about 2017 that they had a plan in place to destabilize the country. Some of you call it, say the thing that wait 2017. Why are we talking about it now? So you see the same thing. You see the irony. Something you way back. We're talking about peace now. Then you say the man did this, the man said this. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man. You're trying to be serious here, man. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Alexander calling from Robbie Highway.
Let's hear you, Alex.
Yeah, my brother. When we speak about peace, and am I on the radio station?
You are on live. Everybody listening to you.
Yeah, when we talk about peace, we want to come on a broad spectrum from both sides, from all sides, but for that matter. For me, I'm supporting the opposition, but I want to ask them to preach the message of peace. Even if somebody suing you, without saying you get 5 hours to sue that person. They bow with the call with Saturday with the nugget chill, the rest I tell you other one. It doesn't mean you will sit down. But I'm asking all of my opposition leaders to please be tolerant and preach the message of peace as we get toward the elections towards them. We don't want no violence. So that's what happened. They feel it in Lima County. A lot of people died there for nothing. I mean, the guy that died for nothing, he gone. They will not see again. So I ask them to please preach peace. And Senator Johnson, you are in Lima County. You say you're supporting the opposition. Please preach peace. No more war. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice day. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. The guys are very interesting. Anyway, that's the intellectual side of it. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother and friend.
Yeah, good morning.
Vice Chair for Administration, Boka Kutinten, and Vice Chair for Operation Mobile Movement for Better Liberia. This is DJ Lumet. My brother, you said it all. Let me condemn all forms of violence in this country. It can be the ruling party, be the opposition. I condemn it to the fullest. Because some of us are here from 1990, we went all through the war and we saw what happened. All that were disrespected. There were no law and order in war. People that have been here talking about war, all this war, let's see. We shouldn't try it. We shouldn't even, God forbid, put our mouth to it. Violence is not good. Because one way or the other, Liberia, we are interrelated. Choking rock here and there, I don't know who will hit. It will be one of my relative or it will be one of your relatives. Let us condemn it into the further. And the president too, to use this time, let the police get on their feet. Anybody that is found in election violence should be arrested. It can be opposition. It can be ruling party. Let us arrest them. And with the Joseph Boaga issue, with Honorable Boaga issue, where he said, 2017, he said, I'm not going to, one Liberian blood will not be spread because of me. So even he said it that Honorable Yilo said he has this man, and he said no. So they're commending for what he said on that day that he said Honorable Yilo said he got this man, and he said no. And that is complete. It was a violent and was going to create chaos. And thank God that God touches his heart and whosoever. With President, we are, when he's dating bombing this going time, I mean, it is wrong for a ruling party. You can't tell the people, say, I'm here for your no. You keep to beg me for something. And then when I say, with this person that you get behind you, you will not get this. Then you say you don't get time for it. When the reaction, when the reaction there, when the sedition there, those that there are not sedition, they're not supposed to be there.
All right, sir. Okay.
Thank you very much. And
Thank
let's
you
stay
so
away
much.
from violence. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much for calling. Have a nice day. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. And you are on Good Morning Liberia on the Voice of Liberia 104.1 on this 25th day of August 2023, election year in Liberia. 46 days to go. Good morning. You want to move away from your radio or cut it off?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, the station you would go to, you'll be very independent. Yeah.
But Chief, that's what we're saying, man. Yeah, my man. Sorry, man. Y'all can cause talk show hosts to say some things to you that they ought not to say in your city unprofessional. You want inquire from me? Ask for my number. I will give you the number, then we can talk that. But that's not. I don't want what the radio for to talk those kind of things, Chief. You're learn some ethics, some moral, some mannerism. Good morning. Good morning.
I'm calling from District 13.
Let's hear you.
I want to put you on a message of peace that Liberia come together because when you read the history of Liberia during the Civil War started through Nima County, and now this situation is continuing happening in Nima County. So I want to call upon all Liberians to put stop to peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice weekend. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. At 9:30, we talk something very, very important. Today is Friday, and it comes from Famada Duncan show. Listening to it, it made so great an impact on me and exactly what is unfolding in Liberia today. So we go a little bit social at 9:30, and that would take us up to the closing. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. So, okay. Thank you ever so much for spicing up this segment of the show. So, what Unity Party is saying, Unity Party is saying, according to Mo Ali, there are plans on the way to get few young people to boo Joseph Boakai whenever he goes on his campaign trail. And somebody said that people writing all kinds of things on Facebook concerning the passing of those people. It is hard to control that. You have to expect and live with it because you know why? That's the time that we are in. You can't stop people from writing in the way in Tajikistan. You go control how he writes or how he doesn't. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Thank you for bringing me on the platform this morning. You know, like I always tell, my name is George Thomas, speaking from my Bagley community to be specific. I'm always saying this to people. Liberia is a country that you cannot deport some of us from. You will never. So we own a country. Everything that we have is here. So this election is just an event. Liberian must hold peace, keep peace, live for peace. But when people go around, they lawmaker or presidential candidate, they are just vying for this position. Just one person need it. At the end of the day, somebody must be a winner. If declare a winner, you become a leader for everybody. But for now, if they coming around, nobody should fool any of us, especially the voter. They are the leaders here right now. They use some of the guys who are in the ghetto, they put them in the group.
Hello. You're off, sir. You're off. So I heard that, and I too read some awful comments about that. You will expect that. You can control it. We are in election year. This is the campaign period. People say awful things. People empathize. People sell their platform. People say reasonable things. You can control everybody. It is not possible. The man sits in in Utopia, if it is a place, and write. You can control him. That's what he wants to write. It's left with you if you can follow him. So people writing, I saw that. I saw some of the awful comments that CDC sacrificed the people, that how they want to win. You expect all of those things, Chief. If it was Unity Party, CDC loyalists would have said the same thing. The stakeholders, the Stenberg, all of those type of they can say it. They can do it. You'll find that coming from the people below the line. And it's hard to control. So it is not an issue. Just understand it from that diverse, individualistic standpoint, Chief. Hi, I know that I am admitting to you, I read some. I read some of the awful comments. That's one of the comments I'm telling you. They say CDC sacrificed to win the election. But Chief, that thing has substance. That political time. If it had happened to Unity Party people, CDC people below the line, they were going to say the same thing. There's no because that campaign now, that campaign. So not anything that you should take serious and say, oh, the people no, not at all. So most ability is in District 7, Nima County, with its politics, opting for a paradigm shift in how the electorate can validate politicians by their promises and actions. He said, we have collectively demonstrated our vision for a sustainable future for our district. Once again, we answer the call from the people of Zipley voting for us. We answer the call from the people of Zipley community, reaffirming their commitment to voting for us. We received commendable responses from our constituents and further emphasized our development efforts to address their concerns. We have committed to providing an additional 60 solar lights, which will transform nighttime visibility into bright daytime to the people of Zipley Township. This will also address the recreational activities of our young people. Additionally, we have broken ground for the bound to Zapley corridor, continuing our priority of developing farm to market roads. We have achieved 95% completion of these projects across our district. We have also donated 2 sets of jerseys and 4 footballs for both male and female teams. Furthermore, we have contributed 100,000 Liberian dollars to the loan program for economic empowerment for Zipley Township. In addition to these contributions, we pledged 4 motorbikes to Zipley Township. By the first week of September, those bikes will be delivered. He concluded by saying, our campaign is built on a principle of peace, devoid of party affiliation. We are one people. I am a peaceful person, and I would not encourage electoral violence in any way. Please maintain a peaceful approach in your engagement. Excerpts from Musa Hassan Bility Manifesto. He's contesting District 7, Masurado County. That's what it is. Just sell your manifesto. Tell the people what you will do, what you have done, what you intend to do, and why you are the right person to be elected by them. That's what it is. Okay. So since today is Friday, TGIF, let's talk something social. Let's close up with something social, and then we can get out. Something very social. And this, it comes from Famata Duncan show. I listen to the show every morning, and it is so helpful to many people. The timing is so great. You know why? She changes a number of people's mannerism before they can even leave their house. Yes, the timing is so important. Stay steady upward. And one of the things she identified, one of the errors, you see it every day, every day, every day. And I urge you to follow that every morning. Every morning, follow Famata Duncan Lifestyle on Voice of Liberia. It comes on at 6:30. And many of you have been have dropped a number of things from your life. Many of you have taken on new sense of responsibility listening to her. So here is it. It's bad mannerism. She couldn't have put it any better. I want to end the show on a social note since today is Friday. Oh, but before that, before that, before that, let me get to my guys. My guys are telling me I can talk, I can talk that social issue without recognizing them. they always want to be around. Good morning to you guys. I can leave you all behind. Yeah, they are.
What an odium! What an ignominious memento! That even at the barbituration of the so much acclimatized, the same subsidy evacuation and barbituration was condemned by a scrupulous, fastidious, puritanica, boisterous, energetic, and a routine to teen, but today for political somnambulism and malocclusion, reticent, taciturn, uncommunicative, and unforthcoming, meaning he has foretold in their poem.
Oh, my grammarians. Oh, yeah, these guys, it remind me about the University of Liberia. A couple of times we were there. And I used to see that when they go under the palava hut or the getting ready, I'm looking at the guys. You see, this other person would take out a small dictionary, and not just the literal dictionaries, or I mean the thesaurus. If you know what a thesaurus dictionary is all about, thesaurus dictionary is well when you're looking for Sam Andrews and you find Sam Andrews, it will give you 3 or 4 or 6 words meaning the same Sam Andrews. What in literature is called poem. So you'll be saying Sam Andrews, you're using all those words, but that's the same Sam Andrews you're talking about. So when the men ready to go on the palaver hut, you see, they take out a small thesaurus. The men, the memorizing, and that's good. That's good. These guys, they do the same. These grammarians, these are great intellectuals. And what is so fascinating, they don't repeat a word. And all of these words you hear them using, if you open the dictionary, you'll see all of them. It is not a makeup. These are words, these are literate words these guys are using. And you will see the description or the definition. How they are so great, man, so exceptional. They're dealing with the issues. They're giving the descriptions. Mm. So guys, say St. Andrews, you can leave without our input. Today is Friday. We want to challenge the university students in Liberia.
What an odium! What an ignominious memento! That even at the barbituration of the so much acclimatized, the same subsidy evacuation and barbituration was condemned by a scrupulous, fastidious, puritanica, boisterous, energetic, and a routine to teen, but today for political somnambulism and malocclusion, reticent, taciturn, uncommunicative, and unforthcoming, meaning he has kowtowed in their poll. Wishy-washy, fuzzy-wuzzy, hodgepodge, mishmash, and paragraph affairs, which is counterintuitive to their political campaign lamentation and promises. Today, the clamorous quest for political impunity, political immunity by our leaders is gradually germinating into political insanity. That is what you get when the hobo pejoratively hobnobs with the hobo bamboozle, razzle-dazzle, razzmatazz politically. He was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is a way of saying the president was fantastic. But his political enemies said he was suffering from what I describe as new mono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Yes, it's a word that is supposed to be called silicosis, meaning a long disease. But in search for the longest word in the dictionary, they pep it up to become a 45-letter word, which is new mono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
2023 election, there will be a humongous and stupendous dichotomy between the previous election and this impending 2023 election. As a result of the disapacity, economic bantikism, academic muaha, hohum hokum, and jiggery pokery with their malevolent poppycock braggadocio and hocus pocus agenda, which has now metamorphosed and transmogrified the prestigious citizens of this country, political awareness, sensibility, intensibility, and agility. I foresee tranquility, unflappability, imperturbability, and composure in this 2023 election. Is to avert flag baggastation, astonishment, and dumbfound situation. I you and who.
Ah, are you who? Who? That war. Those are wars. Oh, those guys are good. They make maximum use of their thesaurus dictionary. Okay, man. My grammarians, great intellectuals. Thank you for coming on to Aspect. They didn't want me to leave without bringing them on. So, Famara will provide a very good education for all of us on a daily basis. And too many anomalies within our social system. Too many. Too many. The males and the females vis-a-vis relationships. In the relationships, in the married, formally, cohabitation. Cohabitation is where you and the person aren't married, but you're living under the same roof. Cohabitation. That when something happens, and you say, oh, me and the man stay together for 3 years. And the law say, when you stay together for 3 years, you must share the property. Then the law say, no problem. Bring your document, your legal document. That legal document that the one they call a marriage certificate, you don't get it. Then the law say, you go home. You go settle it with the elder. They will decide. That's what I call cohabitation. That's why the man wakes up in the morning, when something pop in his hair, he say, I don't want a relationship. I don't want you. I live in a relationship. You can't carry the man nowhere. The woman wake up in the morning or in the afternoon, she looks into it, say, I tired of the relationship here. I'm inside again. I go in. The man can do nothing. So there are different kinds of relationships, but that's not the issue. What Famara would say in education, she talk about in a relationship listening to each other and being expressive, not holding back, not being an introvert with what you have on mind or the conversation, listening to or accepting pieces of advice. And that is 100% true. It's prevalent in our country. I'm talking about Liberia because we see it every day. Most of the men and most of the women don't like to take advice. Not at all. They don't like it. As a matter of truth, both parties represent each other. The man represents the woman represents the man. The woman is the image of the man is the image of the woman. The man portrays the woman outside by his conduct. The woman portrays the man outside by her conduct. And where everything starts from the home. The man, the man's image is the woman's image. So that little line that she inserted is what I'm capitalizing on because I see that every day. We see that every day. You see that every day. So here is the first side of it. Both parties have that. Both parties, man, woman, both parties. And they are under the same roof. I said the man is the image of the woman is the image of the man. The man portrays the woman outside, and the woman does the same with the man. What that means is if you get outside, you are doing everything your woman in mind. If the man gets outside, he's doing everything, or yeah, she's doing everything the man in mind. So where it starts from ethically or with the manners from the home. So let's use this one. The two people in the house, and the man gets dressed, and the lady sees that certain things not right on him, or his dress code just isn't right to get out, and she will come out with a suggestion that he make a U-turn on his dress code. She isn't saying that because she doesn't want the man to wear that suit. No, but that she feels that that is not the right suit to get out. One, two, that he is carrying her image outside. So she will suggest that that suit isn't right and he should somersault on it. And what do you hear from the man? Oh, don't get people hot on ya. And that the clothes I won't wear. They all wear. What wrong with it? What wrong with the thing? Today, no good work day. No problem with it. And then what happens? The woman feels uh, down, and she wouldn't say anything. But he's going outside now, and then what happens? He's going in the midst of people. So somebody looks at and say, "But, so, man, but what happened? But how you dress like this? So, I, how you dress like this? Well, what happened? I mean, but when your woman you see, the thing, your woman you see how you dress, or you don't get woman to her, eh? No woman to her. You might say, "Mama," and he would try from outward, he would try to present it like, oh no, nothing wrong with it, oh my man, all kinds of things. But inwardly, it hurting him. Now, from that moment, now he starts to think about what the woman said. So, what Mamara was saying, and I think all of us have to do it. You have to do it. You have to listen to your partner because you portray you when you're going out. It is the woman's image. You are the face of the woman. The woman is the face of the man. So, if you can listen, if the woman can listen to the man, if the man can listen to the woman, what happens? It damages the image of that relationship. You may think that there is nothing wrong with it. There is something wrong with it. That's bad mannerism from the home out. If your partner said the shirt that you're wearing, no, I don't like that. You don't dress that way. I think put on this one. You listen and you put it on. As long as your husband or your wife can be satisfied with your dress code, every other person who has problem with it is for nothing. Where eternal, where internal happiness starts, it starts from the home. It doesn't start from outside. So if you can listen to your partner, you see that. Oh, no, nothing wrong with it, man. But already there. And you will hear the woman too. The woman will dress. She getting out in the mail say, oh honey, oh honey, I don't think that sky suit you have on actually right for the day. I think you should put this one on. I want you to get this one. Oh honey, not anything, man. What wrong with this sky suit? This suit here, I don't wear it for long. I don't wear it today. Nothing wrong with it. And what happens? You will hear both parties, they will stick on that. The man will not say, yes, my wife doesn't want me to get out this way because I am portraying her image. My husband doesn't want me to dress this way because I am portraying his image. They will stick on that. Once that expression comes up first, that's first expression that comes up. But what happened with it? What wrong with it? Nothing wrong with it. If the man will not move on it, the woman will not move on it. And that one of the reasons why you have all of these things happening in homes, and these petty things can lead to the relationship, a fallout on the relationship, or the relationship break. Go to a temple of justice. Go to city court. Sit down. Hear the number of petty things the man divorcing the woman on. The woman divorcing the man. Petty things, though. And when you see young girls, young boys, men, women, I had the opportunity to listen one informally. I say informal because it was just in the traffic. Coming to town, this lady is in the car at the back seat. She's in the car at the back seat, and this lady is in the front. So the car stopped at the police station. The lady who was in the front stopped at the police station, the entrance, and her friend was standing waiting for car, a coincidence. So as soon as the passenger lady got down, this lady got in the front seat. As soon as the driver took off, her friend recognized her sitting at the back, and she called her name. And when she looked back, oh, she yelled in astonishment, excited. And then they greeted each other, talking from one end to another, almost reaching the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Then the lady at the back asked the lady who got in, her friend, the front, say, so how that thing now? So how you know? The lady in the front immediately responded in joy. I finish with that thing, oh. Me, I finish with that thing. That player come in front of the court. Let him go find different woman. Me, I tired. Let him go. So the friend at the back, it was my understanding, knew that they had problem with their relationship. And one person took the decision to put in divorce legally. When she said, I just from the court, we finish with it. I tell her, let him go and marry a different woman. Young lady, I may not know what actually transpired, but from the way she said it and giving her structure, a young lady, you could tell that if she continued, I know about the man, I'm not there. I just talking her side. It's possible the man did a lot of awful things that she got tired with, as we see every day, we hear every day. But since I was in that commercial car and she brought her based on the question from the friend, that I got to know. I mean, what I'm saying. I finish with that thing. I just from the court. We finish with it. My lawyer finish with it. Let him go and marry a different woman. So I started to say to myself, so if she gets into another relationship and something spark up or there's no understanding, she leave the same way she's left this one? What I'm telling you is all of these things start with these petty things. And that is why I urge you, you follow Famata Duncan lifestyle every day. It has helped, it has changed many people, it's still changing many people. The petty things there. Listen, pastors conducting workshops for people, pastors conducting counseling for people, pastors, the preaching on Facebook in their various churches. There is no sermon that I have seen that 99.9% on marriage than any other sermon. Almost everywhere the preaching sermon on marriage, single and marriage. But guess what? Guess what? You have barrage of relationships. Look at the percentage of marriages that are off. Look at the destabilization of homes, cohabitation relationships. So sometimes I ask myself, what really is the impact? Because you have almost all of the pastors and other professionals, they're giving their expertise, but you have the more they preach on marriage. When they preach 3 sermons on marriage, you have 24 divorces. When they organize single and marriage conference and they have it 4 times, you have about 18 to 19 cohabitations wahala. So I soon realized that they're just talking from the surface, but they're not addressing the petty things. Just like Jesus would say, oh, you want this. The Pharisees say, you're talking there. But the simple thing of the law, you leave it out. And these are the things that are causing problem. So I also realized too, most of the people who conducting these marriage seminars and other things, they're only looking at it from the surface, that they portray themselves as they know more because they marry. And that's another thing we'll talk for another day. But they're not going to the real issue. These petty things that Famata talk about every day are the real things that are happening that cause people to get off. Man does not want to listen to the woman want to listen to the man. Everybody portraying, everybody grandstanding. The man grandstand, the woman grandstand. So everybody authority, and when you have everybody as authority, then there's no morality now, no ethics. Society breaks down. Everybody can be on the same plane. Somebody has to listen to somebody. There must be an authority, and that's how God said it. But we take pieces of advice. If the man advised that, honey, I don't want you to get out like this. I want you to wear this suit. Something that it may not be your preference, but you have to just do it in order to satisfy him. You have to do it in order to satisfy her. That's how it brings joy and peace and maintain the stability of the home. The stability of home socially is not how beautiful or beautified the house is. It's not the many mornings that the man brings in, the woman brings in. No, it is the stability of home, is the satisfaction, the understanding, rather, the respect for each other. That's why God, who created us, look at all of God's lecture on marriage. Look up all of those verses. There's one word He using: respect. Respect. And respect is when you can listen to your opposite number and accept what he or she may have said to you. If you may not like it, it may not be really of substance to you, it may not meet your taste, but you accept to move on. There's a word from Mother usually say experiment. That's the closing part of it, and start to talk about experiment. Yeah, you experiment idea. You experiment the person's idea. So it can say, oh, yeah, okay, that's true. Since he said it's not okay for me to wear and go out, yes, he knows the reason. His idea doesn't meet my taste, but let me do. If that way maintain and increase our joy and happiness and stability, fine. Relationship is all about sacrifice. It's all about experimenting each other's idea. Experimenting a person's idea, it doesn't say it is your idea or your idea is bad. It only means that this is what the person suggested. Let's put it to test and let just try it. Two, it is of substance to the person. The person has the vision of why he or she suggested that. So let's use it. And when you try that, it worked out for you. That's why we are told not to fend off anybody's idea, but we experiment ideas. So the wife can suggest, let's do it this way. There is a reason she has a vision. Everybody has vision. Everybody looks at things differently. So if the wife said, let's do it this way, I suggest that you do it this way. Don't say, oh, but wait, that's my idea. The idea number, I did it in before. No, then what's the word? Is a word for it. You trying to corner the woman or corner the man. And then what happens? The steam from a relationship starts to go out. And then when it becomes rampant or it becomes regular, the two people will just be living under the roof just like friends. So you want to listen. You want to avoid these petty things. Then what did James say also in such a situation? James may not be speaking directly to relationship and that, but we can draw inspiration. You people are all Christian wives, Christian husbands, Christian cohabitators. Sometimes you look at the lines, look at the Bible, take the Bible. The Bible is the best model for any good relationship. If you want to build your relationship up, if you want to maintain it, if you want to keep the stability of it, whatever, use the Bible. But very many of the Christian wives, they go to church, they have no time for the Bible. Many of the Islamic wives, they go to the mosque, they have no time for the Quran. The Quran has a number of moral, spiritual, and social responsibility of how you go maintaining your relationship. But very many of the women, very many of the men, very many of the boys, very many of the girls will have no time. So you see, all of these things are happening. Petty things that happening. God said, man, respect. Woman, respect. Respect. In fact, the emphasis was on the woman. I said respect. Now all the men said nothing beyond that. So when you can respect the man, guess what? Your home will flourish. He said, husband, love your wife. That means you are the protector of her. You are the protector. The man is the protector of the woman. But when he say protector of the woman, it means that he's the law and gospel. Then he say, wife, respect. Respect. That's the key word there. Respect. Nothing else there besides that word. Okay, that's it, man. I just thought to talk about that layer. Having listened to that, it's very good. And let me say thank you to Famada Duncan for the intuition. Yeah. I think most of her lecture is practical because these are things that are happening all over the place. And you don't want to stop listening. Continue listening. It will help you a lot. This is not to say the other guys are not really teaching. No, they are teaching. But I think, from my observation, most of their workshops, their symposium, their seminars, they're conducting on marriages, on single relationships, not really working. It's not helping. I think most of them just staying in front of the people because, one, to portray that they marry. Two, that they know more about relationship. But they forget the simple things, like Jesus said. They forget the petty things, the mean thing. They look petty, but they are the mean things. Yeah, you hear them talking. Yeah, where they do that. Yeah, they do that. Yeah, that. But at the close of the day, they wash out. You finish talking 2-3 hours on marriage. The woman goes home. Petty thing comes up. The woman screaming and shouting, yelling. Everybody in the yard will know. The next thing you hear the woman saying, me I tire with letting you, me I here for letting you, I can't relate relationship. But she just she sat in before an expert. And you know why she's saying that way? Because the expert only spoke from the surface. The expert blasted. The expert did not take time to really do it from the bottom to the top. When you want to convince somebody, when you want to change mind and change attitude, you don't start from top bottom. You start from bottom to the top. That's what you do. When you allow them to see the petty things like Famada we explain, what happened? They get to see themselves in those things, and the next thing is they start to think about changing. So when you get to the top now, what happened? They're already aware, they know what to do. They already change. So the top is just refreshing now. Well, watch how the people conduct. I listen to most of them, I follow them, I watch them. I take all my time to watch some of those things, if not most. And some of you women, you ain't even know how to take care of yourself. You ain't even know how to take care of yourself. Some of you don't even, your arms. Oh, come on. Is that how a marriage counselor should speak in the presence or speak to people? I've had the opportunity to hear some of those things. Some of y'all, and you see some of the women at the older, she woman who claim to be expert in marriage be talking to her fellow women like that? She's not addressing the main issue. Instead, she's blasting. Like those women are her children. Anyway, that's it. That's it. Thank you ever so much. Let me give credit to my source, Famata Duncan. Thank you so much for the education you provide on a daily basis. It is so impactful and insightful. Well, that's how we go home. Thank you ever so much for spicing up the show. This is how Good Morning Liberia recess for this week to return afresh on next week, Monday. Thank you ever so much. We are back. You spice of the show. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Can appreciate you. Can appreciate you the more. Can appreciate you the more. Thank you so much, so much, so much. We are out of time. Thank you so much. So, my name is Sam Andrews. Have a nice day from wherever you are.
What an odium, what an ignominious memento, that even at the barbituration of the so much acclimatized, the same subsidy evacuation and barbituration was condemned by a scrupulous, fastidious, puritanica, boisterous, energetic, and a routine to but today